You can fit a whole life in the space between self-development and self-loathing. That's the title of this video, but it fits. I like it. I think it's a good one. You can fit a whole life in the space between self-development and self-loathing. What do I mean by that? Well, there is this odd obsession in the self-development community with balance, achieving balance. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. Number one, built on faulty assumptions. You do not have infinite hours. You're going to find some sort of balance. Every time you choose to use a function other than your dominant second function, you are choosing to use something you are not very strong at. Sometimes it's a weakness that is hurting your game overall enough that you've got to shore it up a bit. I understand that. That's fine. Nobody's saying you should be imbalanced to your detriment. However, to think that you can achieve balance and that that's a desirable goal is to say, I need to utilize less effective perspectives on a regular basis in order to get more effective at them. Even if you succeed, you have to measure that success against the alternative. If you had instead practiced your dominant function, honing it, if you instead, let's say you're an any dom, well, should you clean up or should you make another freestyle? Make another freestyle for sure. Practice that shit. That's where the magic is. That's where you're gonna make an impact. You're not gonna make an impact by having to clean this house. If you force yourself to go do all that shit all the time, then you're gonna wonder. You start to internalize it. You know, like, this is how I gotta be okay. This is what I need to be okay. I need to be balanced. No, you don't. There's nothing wrong with you. There you go. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. You're not overly imbalanced. The fact that you prefer certain cognitive perspectives over others is not a problem. It's our nature as human beings. You don't go around saying, well, I need to practice opening doors with my left hand because I'm right-handed. And that's imbalanced. And then spend weeks and months inefficiently opening doors so that you can confuse your hands and not know which one to use. Why? Well, why don't you do that? If balance is so important, if it's so important to be balanced in your cognition, why wouldn't it be important to be balanced in the SE part of that? You know, the which hand you reach out with. Well, you better balance them. You seem to use your right hand a lot more frequently than your left. Why is that? Oh, because you don't want to have to make the decision of which hand to use every time you reach up for the doorknob, right? You have a dominant hand, a hand that you use as your main hand, because the two hands work in coordination with each other. True. But in order to work in coordination, one needs to be the lead hand and the other the support hand. If you want to be efficient, if you want to be inefficient and slow everything down, then you should try to be ambidextrous. That would be a great idea, very balanced for you. Now you might say, well, Eric, that's just an analogy. You're just talking about a physical action versus cognition, and that's a different thing entirely. I disagree entirely. What I'm telling you is we tend to not think of cognition in the same way we think of opening doors. But they are the same. The difference is just between time objects and space objects. Just as you turn a doorknob with your hand X number of times a day, X number of times a week, X number of times a month, a year, a lifetime, so too do you approach new situations that offer you an opportunity to exploit your skills and or realize your deficits. If you do realize that deficit, might it be worth your time to try to develop that skill? Sure. You feel like it. If it's causing you problems and it needs to be addressed, fucking address it, you know? But don't let anybody tell you that what you need to do is find some balance. And if you did, they tell you that you go, oh, well, what you need to do is find some this. Right? Because fuck you, right? I mean, you need to find some balance. Yeah, about them, yeah. Um, and listen, I want to tell everybody, when I have comment about something, sometimes it's full of meows, then I want everybody to understand, you are welcome to say, well, here's my video response. You put it up on your channel now. I will do so for sure. I will not deny anybody the opportunity to speak their mind and their response to anything I might say, ever, period. I'm always down to throw down. And I would feel dirty if I ever denied anybody the opportunity to speak. Yeah. If you want to submit a video that's just like fucking venomous fucking hatred towards host Eric, I will put that shit up there 100%. Promise. I mean, I am not somebody who's. There's one thing I believe in. It's everybody gets their chance to fucking throw their punches, you know?